Seoul had changed. The streets were louder, but Jungkook had changed the most. The boy who once laughed too easily was gone. In his place stood someone colder, someone unreachable. "Sir, the board members are waiting." Jungkook didn't look up from the glass wall of his office, 30 floors above the city. Everything looked small from here. Cars, people, problems. His assistant shifted nervously. "Mr. Jeon?" Jungkook finally spoke. "Let them wait." His voice was calm, controlled, empty. 6 years ago he was just another ambitious entrepreneur. Now he was the CEO of one of the fastest growing tech companies in Asia. Magazines called him the Golden CEO, the man who built an empire at 28, the coldest business mind in Seoul. They admired him, feared him, but no one actually knew him. Not anymore. Jungkook loosened the collar of his shirt slightly. A thin silver chain rested against his collarbone, hidden beneath his shirt. Attached to the chain, a ring, Taehyung's ring. He never removed it. Never. Jungkook had one rule. He didn't date. His friends tried. Even his investors hinted that a public relationship would help his image. He rejected all of it, because in his mind, love was a trap. And Taehyung proved that. Employees whispered about him. "He never smiles. I've worked here 3 years, and he's never once taken a day off." "Did you know he sleeps in the office sometimes?" Someone said he used to be different. Different how? Human. Inside his drawer was one photo. Hidden. Face down. He told himself he kept it as a reminder of betrayal. But the truth was different. The photo showed two people laughing on a beach. Taehyung's hair was wild from the wind. Jungkook had sand on his cheeks. They looked stupidly happy. Young. In love. Before everything died. Jungkook flipped the photo back over quickly. Locked the drawer. He hated that version of himself. The one who believed promises. The rain had started again. A thin mist covered the road as Jungkook drove through the quiet street, the city lights stretching into blurred lines on the windshield. His mind wasn't on the road. Meetings, contracts, anything to avoid the memories that still lived somewhere deep inside him. And then, a small figure ran across the street. Jungkook's heart jumped. Shit. He slammed the brakes. The tires screamed against the wet pavement. The car stopped just inches from the child. For a moment everything went silent. Rain tapped lightly against the hood. Jungkook's hands were shaking as he threw the car door open and rushed out. "Hey, are you?" The words died in his throat. The boy was sitting on the road, staring up at him. Maybe 5 years old. Small, curly dark hair. But that wasn't what made Jungkook freeze. It was the face. The child looked exactly like him. Same eyes, same smile, even the shape of his nose. Jungkook's stomach twisted violently. His heart began pounding harder with every second. The boy blinked curiously. "You almost hit me." Jungkook swallowed. I know. Are you hurt?" The child shook his head. "I'm okay." Jungkook crouched down slowly, still staring. It felt impossible, like looking at a reflection from another life. "What's your name?" Jungkook asked quietly. The boy answered without hesitation. "Minseo." The name hit Jungkook like a cold wave. "Minseo." His chest tightened. The boy tilted his head. Something cold crawled down his spine. He forced himself to ask the question that suddenly felt terrifying. "Who is your father?" The boy's expression didn't change. He simply shrugged. "I don't have one." The words felt like a knife to Jungkook's chest. Then a voice called out sharply. Minseo. Jungkook froze. His body recognized that voice before his mind could. Slowly, he looked up. Taehyung was running toward them. Taehyung stopped a few steps away, breathing heavily. His hair was longer now. There were faint shadows under his eyes. 6 years had changed him, but Jungkook would recognize him anywhere. Taehyung's gaze immediately went to the child. Minseo. The boy stood up quickly. Abba. Jungkook felt the word echo painfully in his chest. Taehyung rushed forward and grabbed the child's shoulders, checking him quickly. Are you hurt? No, Minseo said. The car stopped. Taehyung exhaled in relief. Then he looked up and saw Jungkook. Everything in his body went still. Shock spread across his face. For a moment neither of them moved. 6 years of silence filled the space between them. Rain fell softly around them. Taehyung recovered first. Almost instinctively, he pulled Minseo behind him. Protective, shielding. Like Jungkook was dangerous. That small action hurt more than Jungkook expected. Their eyes met fully now. For the first time in 6 years, Jungkook noticed every change in Taehyung's face. Jungkook's voice came out rough. Taehyung. Taehyung didn't answer. His hand tightened around Minseo's shoulder. Jungkook's eyes shifted to the boy again. The resemblance was undeniable now. His chest felt tight. Where is his father? Jungkook asked quietly. Taehyung's expression hardened instantly. That's none of your business. Jungkook gave a short laugh. The sound was bitter. Really? Taehyung didn't respond. Minseo peeked from behind him, looking curiously between them. Appa, who is he? Taehyung didn't answer. Jungkook took one step closer. Taehyung immediately moved Minseo further behind him. Jungkook's voice dropped. Is he mine? Taehyung's eyes flickered. Just for a moment. But it was enough. Enough to send Jungkook's heart into chaos. Taehyung quickly looked away. Minseo, he said softly, we're leaving. The boy nodded obediently. Taehyung started walking past Jungkook, then looked back at Jungkook. For the first time, there was emotion in his eyes. Fear, guilt, something unspoken. Jungkook felt anger rising again. 6 years of unanswered questions. 6 years of silence. You're just going to leave again? Jungkook asked. Taehyung didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked at Jungkook carefully, like he was searching his face for something. Then his expression hardened, and he said quietly, You shouldn't be near us. Jungkook stepped closer. You don't get to say that and walk away. Taehyung's voice was calm. I already did. Jungkook's jaw tightened. Is he mine? Taehyung answered immediately. No. The word came too quickly, too sharp. Jungkook studied his face. Then take a DNA test. Taehyung's eyes hardened. No. That was the first crack. Jungkook laughed quietly. If he isn't mine, you have nothing to worry about. Taehyung didn't respond. His silence spoke louder than words. Jungkook pressed further. Who's the father? For a moment, Taehyung's expression changed. A shadow passed over his face. Then he said quietly, He's dead. The words landed heavily. Jungkook frowned. Dead? Taehyung nodded once. Yes. Minseo tugged at his sleeve. Appa, I'm hungry. Taehyung's voice softened immediately. Let's go home. He gently pulled the boy closer, then looked back at Jungkook one last time. He tried to walk around Jungkook, but Jungkook grabbed his arm. Stop lying to me. Taehyung slowly pulled his arm free, and then he left. Again. Jungkook didn't sleep that night. Minseo's face replayed in his mind endlessly. The eyes, The smile, it was like looking at a younger version of himself. By morning, Jungkook had already made a decision. If Taehyung wouldn't answer, he would find the answers himself. A thick file landed on Jungkook's desk. His private investigator spoke quietly. We found everything about Kim Taehyung. Jungkook opened the file slowly. The first photo made his chest tighten. Taehyung walking with Minseo, holding his small hand. Jungkook forced himself to focus. Start. The investigator nodded. He lives in a small apartment. Jungkook flipped through the pages. The building looked old, modest, not the life Taehyung once dreamed about. Occupation? Jungkook asked. Part-time designer at a small studio. Jungkook frowned. That can't pay much. It doesn't. Another page revealed bank statements. Low balances. Unpaid bills. Taehyung was struggling. Jungkook's chest tightened unexpectedly. Married? He asked. No. Partner? None. Jungkook stared at the paper. 6 years. Taehyung had never moved on. The investigator continued. He lives quietly, mostly takes care of the child. Jungkook leaned back slowly. Taehyung had sacrificed everything. Career, comfort, possibly even happiness, for that child. But something else caught Jungkook's attention. In several surveillance photos, the same man appeared in the background, watching. Following, Jungkook pointed at the picture. Who is that? The investigator hesitated. We're still trying to identify him. Jungkook's eyes narrowed. He's being followed. Yes. Jungkook's stomach tightened. Something was very wrong. 2 days later, Jungkook sat inside his car near Minseo's school. Children ran through the gates laughing. Parents waited nearby. Then Jungkook saw them, Taehyung and Minseo. Minseo ran toward his father happily. Appa. Taehyung knelt and hugged him. The sight hit Jungkook harder than expected. They looked peaceful, simple, something Jungkook had never had. As they walked away, something fell from Minseo's backpack. A small hair clip. Jungkook stepped out of the car after they turned the corner. He picked it up. A strand of hair was caught in it. His heart started racing. This was crazy, but he had to know. 3 days later, Jungkook sat alone in his office. A white envelope lay on the desk. Inside, the DNA results. His fingers trembled slightly. For 6 years, he had believed one truth. Taehyung betrayed him. The child wasn't his. Opening this envelope could destroy that belief forever. His chest felt tight. Slowly, he opened it. His eyes scanned the page, then stopped. The words blurred for a moment before becoming clear. Paternity probability 99.98%. Jungkook stopped breathing. His hands began shaking violently. The paper slipped slightly between his fingers. Minseo was his son. His son. 6 years. 6 years of believing Taehyung cheated. 6 years of hatred. 6 years of grief. And it had all been a lie. Jungkook felt his knees weaken. He dropped back into his chair. The room spun. His voice came out as a whisper. Taehyung. His chest tightened painfully, because now the truth was undeniable. Taehyung hadn't betrayed him. Taehyung had lied. And the only question left was, why?